I hope they did the weirdness and it always messes me up. Is that it? Hold on. Live chat. They changed the whole YouTube thing. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. I didn't announce the live. Um, I've actually been running for the whole weekend. I took Friday off. I'm gonna take y'all, well, not right in this video, but I'm gonna do a video later about the patio. It's done. It's completed. It's cleaned. I paid a friend of mine's son to come by and to clean it. Praise Jesus. So I can start the garden, but it's gonna be late. Guys, I went to Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's. I haven't been in a while. Well, not quite true. I went about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was looking because they have these rectangular ice bags that I like, or cold, like when you take your cold insulated bags. And they had one that was supposed to be, I don't really care about the color, but I guess it was lavender for whatever, that spring, whatever. So I went because I used to have a blue one and it was sold out. They didn't have one. So I was like, okay. But while I was in there, I hadn't really walked Trader Joe's in a while. So I went through Trader Joe's and I found different stuff. Hey, flatbed. Hold on, hold on. You quit what job? I thought you had the truck broke down. Flatbed, you got me twisted. Did you do a different job? Flatbed, did you do a different job? And how you doing? And you hear me okay, right? Oh, you missed the chest because you started a job. Okay. What job were you doing? Because I didn't know what job you started. So tell me what you were doing. I'm gonna talk about the seasoning. But and then let me know how you are. You're in Florida, and what's the weather like? Y'all weather usually ain't bad anyway, unless you get like hurricanes. I went to Trader Joe's. I'm gonna just talk about this because I'm old now, homie. If I say something and I start going different direction, my mind is bad. I be like, okay, what was I saying? Okay, let me come. Oh, you went to okay. Publix is a nice grocery store. I was just saying. What were you doing at the warehouse? Were you like loading stuff, or working in the warehouse loading? You flatbed, so you probably are built like you built because you did flatbed. Because any female, I got to just look. I'm fat as can be. I had to take my hat off because if you even when I was smaller, that's some work, homie. Woo, that's some work. So I got to take my hat off to you because for a female to do flatbed, for those of you, I'm going to segue to trucking and I'm going to come back to the seasoning because I've never used this seasoning before. I want to smell it. Oh. Oh, I got to play with this. Oh, see, I miss driving. I don't miss trucking. So I miss the travel. I would like to retire, have an RV travel. Let me come into the right kind of money. I like the job I do right now. I actually enjoy it for my analytical brain. I enjoy the job. And now that I don't have that little micromanaging supervisor, I'm like, oh my God, if you don't get away from me. Now that I don't have her. The new girl seems to be okay. I actually, quite intelligent. We had our first one-on-one. And what I got was intelligent, very, very intelligent. And not saying the other lady, and let me preface this, I don't know whether the other lady was smart or not because she was so micromanaging, you never really got to know who she was as a person and what her intelligence was. I knew that her thing was circumventing the system for numbers because she told me, I'll show you later how to do that. No, your tricks is kind of slick Willie. Because she's like telling me not to verify and some other stuff. Your tricks is slick Willie. Um, Flatbed, hit me up in the background and reach out to Heidi Hart. I have her information. So you can email me at TruckerDoll at gmail.com. Just let me know it's you, and I'll shoot you her contact information. So Hart Driver Solutions. So Heidi Hart, I had her on my she's on my TruckerDoll and I think Trucker 411. Um She might have posted there. It's been a while because I don't even go into those pages since I'm not driving. They're still existent, and other drivers help other drivers there. But Heidi posted on there. So it's Heidi Hart Driver Solutions. Heidi, we've had a personal conversation. I actually talked to her. She owns the company. She was a driver manager for Conway back in the day. And then later she started her own truck driving. Hey, PJ, what's up? How you doing? How's that weather in Missouri? See, I remembered. Um, and I'm just letting her know, flatbed know. So Heidi places drivers. Now, there was a company that I worked for, Nice Trucks. Um, I don't know that they have flatbed, but I do know they have drive-in and reefer. And so they brought in people from Conway. So I'm going to say this about Conway. Conway and I just came to a head because, again, crazy management. I had a crazy driver manager who had tried to send me up into Canada with no hours. No, and then thought it was funny. No, homie, I'm gonna park your crap. You don't have me in another country hemmed up. My record was clean. So that's why we separated ways. And Heidi actually worked for them, but Conway had a safety system that was probably par none to any of the companies I worked for. Well, a company that I worked for out of Oklahoma does the same thing because they brought in two of the Conway major employees. One of them heads their HR department, and the other one heads their safety department. So the same way they implement the safety with their trucks, regardless of whether you're an owner operator, lease owner operator, or you actually are a company, is the same requirements. When you step on that yard in that truck, it has to go through an inspection check where I had never seen another company that did it. Every time you came in the yard, it had to have an inspection check. So they did a very thorough inspection check, not nothing half but. Your maintenance, checking things. So I was very impressed, but we came to a part where because the girl, I don't know. It's just I don't have, and I'm old now, but I'm big on certain things you do and certain things you don't do. Um, but I have a couple people I know who went over there and are doing quite well. Some are employees and some are owner ops. Yeah, you have to be because if you get pulled in for the DOT, you need to make sure that because I call it the DOT colonoscopy. So if you get pulled in that truck in the DOT, they're gonna do a DOT colonoscopy. Yeah. And again, the sad part is that a lot of truckers have good work ethic. There's some though who are crap, but unfortunately, a lot of them have to take shortcuts in order to make money, or drive shoddy equipment without saying anything about the company in order to make money. But if you just love flatbed, then I don't know about Mercer. I heard Mercer's a good company. I don't know anything about them. I'm not flatbed. I only know reefer and drive-in. I'm not a drive-in fan, but I'm a reefer driver. I like reefer. Refrigerated, that was my favorite. And it's favorite because girl, if y'all have never swept out a trailer in 100-some degree weather, talk to me. Talk to me. By the time you're drenching and also crawling in and out, that's how I fractured the ankle. I'm good. With a reefer, I ain't gotta climb in the trailer for nada. Nada. You just go back, you drive in, they wash it out, and you go pick up your load. Drop your load, go get it washed out, and you go pick up your next load. It's a lot less drama. Most you gotta do is landing gear, detaching, opening doors, closing doors, locking it up, and driving down the road. That's why I like reefer. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be praying for you to find something. Okay, you like the exercise. There was another chick, it was a white chick, and I forgot her name. She was real popular back in the day. And I used to watch her, and she was flatbed. I can't remember her name. She was real popular on the YouTube side of things. There was another one I watched who became very popular, and she was with Prime. No, she was with a subsidiary of Prime, and I forgot the name of the company, but she was popular back in the day too. I can remember. I love a little white girl driving she was a flatbed chick, and I forgot her name. And she left the industry for a little bit. I don't know all of what happened. She moved to Texas for a minute. Then I think she went back into trucking, but she have a dog? Flatbed? I think she eventually got a dog. She didn't originally have a dog. And I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name. I can't. Yeah, I got something in my tooth. I need a toothpick. Culinary Grid, what's up? I got, hold on. I keep hit. YouTube changed things, y'all. YouTube. Am I ashy? I feel ashy. 57 degrees. Girl, look, PJ, we gonna fight. Girl, I got in my car. I got up early this morning. And so I took off Friday, y'all. And the goal was, so I work from home 3 weeks of the month and then 1 week in office. So on the 13th, I got to be back in office. Well, I told my landlord, if anybody, and the landlord is a realtor, so she's actually a realtor, and I know her from another complex. Oh, okay. That's because he wasn't trained. Okay, culinary grid, that's because he wasn't trained. If you talking about me, okay, let me bend down. You see, this is the receding area. If my hair, so this right here still recedes, but what I realized, and if I do the right, I call it berry juice. Y'all know what we got to use for black folks. My hair naturally curls up. I didn't even know it naturally curled, and I did like most of us when they had perms and all the craziness, which might be part of this, but I believe the high blood pressure is part of it. But also my mother had alopecia, and I think it's passed down to all of us. My brothers are both bald. I don't know if they shaved their hair or they just stopped growing it. My grandfather, her father, was also bald. My papa we call him Papa. He had a little, what I think called a widow peak, little piece of hair here, and a little fuzz around the edge, kind of like Joe. Joe doesn't get the widow's peak, but he gets the fuzz around the back. So he had a little fuzz around here and a little widow's peak, but he always kept his hair shaved, right? Because he didn't grow any, he lost all the hair up here. Well, when I started losing the hair and thinning, I went to my doctor's, used some castor oil with, what the hell is a derma roller? What the hell is that? Girl, what's that? I don't know what that. I don't know what a derma. See, you talking some girly stuff. God forgive me. I got some deliverance from the whole gay thing, but there's some girly stuff I still don't get. I cannot. So what the hell is a derma roller? I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know what that is. I don't know what a derma roller is. Somebody gonna have to help me with that. I cannot. Y'all gotta help me. You gotta help me. Anyway, so I went to my doctor's dermatologist. I'd miss her because she would send me to her doctor. We got along. I think we're the same age. I'm pretty sure. And I got to find a new doctor. She retired. So depressed about this. So I went to my doctor's dermatologist and I got educated on something. So here's what I found out. One, I am on a blood pressure medicine that helps with hair loss. What's it called? Spironolactone, but it also helps with my blood pressure. So I found out kind of three things. So one, if your mother's side of the family's father, her dad, had hair loss issues, it can translate to the women. So it usually comes from your mother's side, okay? However, on Monty's side also, my grandmother didn't have issues, but in his family line, and I don't know I don't know if his father's side or not, the women had hair loss issues there. So I get hit two ways, right? I think the plus of what I'm keeping though is due to his mom and what I inherited from her, because my grandmother had the Native American part. So her hair was just like Native American women, and she could just braid it. It didn't kink, none of that. It was like that, what we'd like to say, good hair. She got that good hair because it didn't kink, right? And so my grandmother would just braid her hair in braids, and on Sunday when she went to church, she'd take the braids out. She'd have to hot iron nothing. Her hair just did this. So as long as she braided it, it it just like waves. It was gorgeous. So it wasn't until, so I was doing all the perms, all the crazy stuff we all did, right? And when I originally just did a really short haircut, I started using, and men or women can use it, but mainly guys use the wave products, the pomades. And all of a sudden, my hair said clink, clink. I was like, whoa, it's like almost a curl, but a thicker, so y'all can get in there. See it curls up? It's like those little berry curls. I'm like, whoa. So all I do is use like Wave Builder. I like Wave Builder. I use some Wave Builder products, some pomades, and I also use this. It's an oil. I'll bring it in next on the next video. Y'all can see it. It's a pack you get from Amazon, and I have a feeling it's made by black folk because it's got a whole bunch of different types of oils in there. I'll bring it. Next time I come, next week. I'll remember. I'll try to remember to put it out here so I can have it. So anyway, I started using that, and for whatever reason, I think it's helped, but I still have that receding where it's real thin here, but it grows. So the sides and all of this will grow, and if I let it, it'll just keep. If I just keep doing it, um, I wasn't juicing it as much. I think I just was real tired, so I wasn't juicing my hair like and so I said, you got to get back on it. So as soon as I start doing the Wave Builder and that other oil, it just grows back. I think the oil has castor oil in it, but it's got a whole bunch of different oils in there. And then somebody had told me about, there was a kind of a grease that I was using that I got through Amazon. And I forgot what the name of the grease was, but then it went away for a little bit. You couldn't get it. Now it came back, but people are saying it's not like the original formula. I have no idea. So I hadn't bought it in a while. I might get it again, but it had a whole bunch of stuff in it. And so I've just been using my Wave Builder. I've been using that oil, which as soon as I get out the shower, I use the oil. And it's two oils. There's a like a one is thinner and one is thicker, and I can't remember the difference. I'll bring the bottles out, but you can get them on Amazon for like $17, and for the packet. And so I've ordered them before, and they do really. I think they help. But I also found out from Trucker Bill's daughter, who's a cosmetologist, when I was out there on the truck, that oftentimes, because as soon as she saw it, she says, you have a high blood pressure. I was like, she said, people who have high blood pressure can have hair thinning. So it can just, when you have a high blood pressure issue, it can affect your hair follicles, which I was like, oh, okay. So that could be part of it as well. So I just kind of hit from all sides. But yeah, so, oh, that's why I was talking about Trader Joe's. Y'all got me off track. Anyway, Flatbed, hit me up in the background. I'll get you Heidi Hart's information. I'll get your information. But the spironolactone was recommended by the dermatologist, which is supposed to help with retaining your hair, but also helps with controlling the blood pressure, which might tie to that conversation. Anyway, I was at Trader Joe's, and I'm a seasoning person. So if I do cook, I like to use different seasoning, not just salt and pepper. So I saw this jar, and I was like, what is this? So it says Sofrito. Y'all see that? Sofrito? And so, what's in this? Y'all got to get the papers on. Hold on. So it says a aromatic, flavorful blend, crispy onion, sun-dried tomatoes, sea salt, garlic, red pepper, parsley, rosemary, and sage. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good as hell. So anyway, I'm smelling it. Now, the thing is, it's rather thick. So I'm almost wondering, I mean, I guess you could use it like that. But if you wanted it to be a little bit less thick, you could probably, you know what I need to get? I just thought about it. I need to get a seasoning grinder, because I would like to grind it down to a powder, maybe use it on, you could use that on probably some fish, some chicken. The smell is amazing. I was like, I just read the bottle, and I was like, oh, and I grabbed it. And I grabbed some other stuff too. I'll do that next time. But yeah, so I grabbed that as well. What else we got going on? A lot of wheel with spikes that put small holes it promotes collagen and helps hair growth. A lotto wheel. What the hell is that? Are you talking about that thing? What's it? Hold on, let me get. So a derma roller. That's the lotto wheel? Y'all got me doing work. I put my finger in the jar. Y'all got me doing a wheel in my head. Wheel? I gotta do that. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. I'm gonna look it up. And then I'm gonna have a whole bunch of beauty feeds in there that I do not want to see. Cause I don't know what YouTube, that little algorithm has not been getting my stuff lately. It's been giving me some weird stuff. It just has. Some of it's weird. I'm like, why am I getting this weird stuff? There's some stuff I don't want to know. Or some stuff I don't want to see. And no offense, black people, I'm not about ratchetness. I can't do ratchet hood ninjas. I can't do the hood ninjas. I can't. I went to get Chinese food today over by Linda. Okay, I'm gonna make y'all laugh. So when I was temporarily at the bus company, the bus driver's like, yeah, there's this place. It's called, and he said it's a Chinese place and they got these jalapeno wings. So let me explain. I have fried food cravings every blue moon. I am not. So my top favorite, if I'm gonna do meat, would be on the grill. I want it grilled. I want it smoked. That'd be my top favorite. The next one would be rotisserie, and the next one you could do it in a pan or then in an oven. Either one. And lately, I don't even use my oven. My oven is storing pans. I have that Ninja Foodie XL, whatever. It's like a pressure cooker, air fryer. It's got a whole bunch it does. What all that thing do? Bakes. It do a whole bunch. It's a whole bunch it does. Well, I have that. Plus, I also have a Instapot, right? But the Ninja Foodie, I was not a fan of the air fryer until I got that Ninja Foodie. And I'm like, oh. So I do a lot of my cooking now in the Ninja Foodie. And I like my Instapot, but I use the Ninja Foodie because the Ninja Foodie is versatile. It's versatile. Only thing irritating is got them two lids. But other than that, that sucker is amazing. I do cook on the stove if I'm like maybe making breakfast or a pan. Joe gave me this huge pan. I mean, I don't know if there's like a 18, 20-inch pan. It's huge. It's a huge cast iron enamel skillet, and it's amazing. It's heavy as hell too. I gotta use two hands, otherwise somebody come in the house. I don't need no gun. I just need to throw that pan at them. They would be dead. That pan is heavy. So that's what I cook in. I cook in the same pan almost all the time. I need to get a bigger lid. I have like a universal lid, but the universal lid, that pan is so big, it just fits almost down in it a little bit and leaves like a little bit of space opposed to fitting on top of it like my other pans. And I bought that universal lid a long time ago. I got it at IKEA. And I love it. It's wonderful. IKEA got some good stuff, y'all. I got a whole nice pan set from IKEA, and I copied it off of my TruckerDoll sister-in-law, Linda, because when her and her husband, they had remodeled the house, she got a whole new pan set. I was like, oh, I like the pan set. And she said, girl, I got it at IKEA. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was at IKEA, like, I think next week or whatever, and picked up that whole pan set, and I still have it. Great pan. It's a nice pan set. It was very, very nice. So I still have it, but I don't use it as much. But I still keep it because it's a nice pan set. If I'm going to get in there and cook, I'm going to need it. Anyway, I haven't been cooking like that. But when I do cook, I'm not huge on fried stuff. Every blue moon. If I do fried stuff, the fried things that I like, top catfish. Like fried catfish. As a matter of fact, I went and had catfish. What's yesterday? Saturday. So Saturday morning, I got up late and I had some things I needed to do. I wanted to go wash the car. I needed to do 2 grocery runs. Did I do 2 or 3? I think I did 3. I can't remember. I did 2 or 3. But before I went, I decided got up a little late and I was going to go do breakfast. But instead of doing breakfast, I was like, I haven't had catfish in a while. So we have a soul food restaurant out here called Lolo's Chicken and Waffles. So it's what's that one in California? You know, they're trying to copy that whole mindset. Well, he started it years ago and it has become extremely popular. Actually, he now has I think he has 3 locations here in Arizona and Phoenix. He might have some like in Tucson. I don't know. He's got one at the airport. I know he has one in Scottsdale, and he has the main one that is in Phoenix. Then I heard he had one in another state. I can't remember if that's Detroit or wherever, but he has one in another state. His mother or grandmother had a soul food restaurant. I think it's still here, called Mrs. White's. I've never eaten at Mrs. White's, but I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I've been to his restaurant. So I had a craving for fried catfish. So I did the fried catfish and the smothered chicken. Smothered chicken was okay. I thought I had it before and it was better, but I should have just did 2 fried catfish. Initially, I thought I was going for the chicken and waffles. But when I got there, it didn't have that, and I wasn't paying $8. Oh, okay, Culinary Grid. You heard of Mrs. White's? It's only here in Arizona. I don't know of any other place it's at. Are you talking about Mrs. Winter's Chicken Dinners? You might be talking about Mrs. Winter's Chicken Dinners. That's different. I've been to them in Memphis. They're closed, y'all. My tooth is bothering me. I gotta get. Hold on. I know what to do. You know, I'm trying not to use my finger because I just. Okay, there we go. I need a toothpick, but I think I got it. Something back in that tooth. Anyway, and I gotta. Whenever I do stuff, I got my antibacterial right by the couch. Okay. You know all the spots around the country. Okay. So Mrs. White's been around for a long, long time. I've never eaten there, but the son or grandson started Lolo's Chicken and Waffles. Okay. And so that has become extremely popular. Girl, the wait, got him on the wait list. Was able to wash the car. I was on the wait list. He's talking about 51-minute wait. I washed my car, then headed there. Okay. And I started the wait list before I walked out the house. So I went to the car wash, washed the car, dried the windows, and then got on the freeway and headed there. And when I got there, I sat at a little table. It was packed. And then I had another probably about 20-25 minute wait just to get my food. And it took about 10 minutes for her to come take the order, maybe 15. So after the order was an additional 15 to 20 minute wait. So it was a little bit of time. I hadn't been in a while. I won't be going back anytime soon. It was way too crowded. Oh, Black people, Latino people. I need to talk. For me, culinary, it wasn't. I'm old. I'm accepting my old, and I like my old, but I'm getting more set in my ways, and I don't like a lot of weirdness, drama, and I can't stand bad children. And the nature of these kids that they do not raise nowadays makes me want to punch them in the face. God forgive me. I don't mean to be mean. And not saying I would actually do that. I wouldn't go punch a child in the face. This is just saying the level of frustration. But I do want a belt and I want to whoop that tail. And then I want to whoop their parents for not parenting and raising their kids with any manners. And don't get me wrong, I got that in my family. I be seeing kids, I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I can't. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Um, and I hate to say among blacks, Latinos, we used to have, well, at least for black folks, I can't speak, I just see what I see. For black folks, I can speak to. Latinos, I have them in my family, but again, I don't know because it's a different world in general now. Because black kids, we didn't, child, your mama, the neighbor down the road could whoop your behind, the teacher, they'd hem you up. You wouldn't come up acting a fool. No, you wouldn't. So, but nowadays the world is different. Okay. Culinary, I didn't know. Well, name Culinary Grid, that would make sense. I know you had a restaurant though. I didn't know you had a restaurant, homie. Where's your restaurant at? What part of the country? And Culinary, where are you at in the country? I know. Where are you at in the country? And I'm gonna get into my subject here in a minute, y'all. I got a Target order to pick up in about an hour and change. Oh, you back? Okay, you in Maryland too? Okay, got you, got you. Okay. Um, Tanya was not Tanya's in. Tanya's in Dallas. Tanya's in Dallas. I'm trying to remember. Or in Texas. Who else is in? Somebody's in Maryland too when they come in. I can't remember right now. I can't remember right now. I'm old. Um, let me breathe. I have a problem with hoodness. I can't, and it's not that I didn't grow up. So a lot of people, when they hear me or how I carry myself, they automatically. It's like one of my friends, Regina. She's like, "Oh, you like rap music? You like hip hop music?" I'm black in America, but then I realized who she met was a black woman who didn't carry herself as though I was hood associated, but I am. So unlike my two brothers, who my mother kept predominantly white schools, she was able to do that with them. I was the first child. So she struggled between living in an area that was, I'm going to say, central to hood area. And then we ended up living in the hood. So when I went to school, my first school was a pretty much predominantly Latino school. And I actually still have to find a picture. I'll post it when I find it again. It was a Latino school. I was the only chocolate chip in the class. Everybody else was Mexican. There might have been a white person, but I be honest, everybody, all the kids were like Hispanic. That's what they were. And the teacher had a Hispanic name, so she was probably Hispanic, even though she had her look of being not Hispanic. And then my grandmother was the other chocolate chip, and she was a teacher's aide. Okay, my mother's mother. So I, that was my first hood school. Then later, I ended up at another school in that area, and then later I ended up in what they call South Phoenix, which is the hood, and I ended up in a school called Roosevelt School District. Well, my mother worked in Central Phoenix, so for a while she moved me into a predominantly white school called Creighton School District, which was a predominantly white school, and the difference between education standards. So, but I learned how to speak better. And I saw different. That's the way I want to say. I saw different from what I saw in the hood or the urban areas, right? So I saw different. Because of that, I tell people I grew up on both sides of the track. So granted, our hood here in Arizona is not going to be anything like a Chicago, a New York, a Compton, a Long Beach. It ain't gonna be that. It's like when you see the projects here in Arizona, most people who are from Chicago or New York and they see it that I know, they be like, "Go, what you said I was." That's projects. Those apartments, nice apartments. Our projects don't look like a New York or an East Coast or Midwest or like a Detroit type project. It doesn't. So even though that is, the government housing, it in no way is anything like what you would see from those areas or from like a California Compton or Long Beach. It ain't gonna be Oakland. You ain't gonna see. It's not gonna be like that. So that's why when I tell people, like my one friend who's back here with her kids and she's trying to stay here because she doesn't want to go back to where she was, she's like, and she's from Illinois initially, Chicago area, and she said, I want to stay here because she was living in a different state. She was living in Nevada. And she said, Arizona's more laid back. The people, when I tell people, Arizona's a great place, and I didn't appreciate my state, but it is really a good place for most families because the only way that you gonna get into trouble here is you looking for it. That's just what you want to be in. Arizona's laid back. It's not a state you come to and you worried about your kid getting into drama unless you're not raising your kid and your kid wants to be in drama. You have to be looking for drama in Arizona. It don't just, it's not like right outside your street for the most part. Even in the hood, I haven't lived there in a while, but even in the hood, it wasn't, for the most part, it wasn't something that I really saw. That's why it was shocking working for the bus company, and all of a sudden I'm seeing people doing drugs right out on the bus. No. I rode the bus. I didn't see that. Never, ever, 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 ever. So Arizona's different now. Some things have changed after COVID, and I don't know if that's part of it, but that's not something that's typical of us. So Arizona, like I said, you come here, you look. If you get into trouble here, you looking for it. You just looking for it. It's a very laid back state. Again, it was originally a retirement state. It's becoming more diverse now. As a matter of fact, I was out and about today, and I was seeing the different license plates. I saw Texas, I saw Maryland, I saw California. Obviously, Kelly's always here. I saw Illinois. Who else did I see today? And I was getting mad because I'm like, that's why people buttholes, because y'all from coming from everywhere else. But it's a big, and even Linda said, she said, girl, there's a whole bunch of folks moving here. I was like, oh, no. Because we pissed about some of the driving habits, because it's like, woo, woo. And then, unfortunately, people come here and they bring some of their personality that is not always the best with them. And like I said, we laid back. We a laid back state. We not into it. I was in the grocery store the other day. A little white man. Oh, little white lady behind him. I don't know if she's in front, behind. Something transpired. Very quiet, very. And all I know is her basket was there. Then he said something. Then he talking about, you ignorant old ass B. I was like, and the lady was ringing me up, the cashier, and we both looked, and I was like, he just started cussing and talking to her crazy, and the lady was just as timid, and she moved her basket back and let him go. I said, I looked at the cashier. I said, okay, I love Jesus. I do love Jesus, but y'all would have seen another side had that been me. And again, we got people coming from all over. Went to one grocery store. This dude from Texas, I don't know, he just ignorant, blocked another car, parked it behind the car into the aisle where you would be driving, where people are driving in and out of the parking lot. Here's the parking spot. Here's the aisle. Here's the guy, okay, behind him. He just parked his car like this because I don't know what that was about. Being a dick, excuse my French, that's what he was. And then just walked in I was like, oh, you got the right one. Because you might come out and your car tires be jacked. I love the Lord, but there's just some stuff, y'all. I be like praying. I have to pray because people do some weird stuff. And I say, Lord, I thank you that you don't put me in these situations. Because, they would meet another Shannon. I might be in handcuffs. But the Lord knows me. He does. He knows me. I might be in handcuffs. And I'm probably being a little bit facetious because Linda messed with me and she said, I'm trying to get like you, because there's times where I can tell her temper is rising, but I'm just more like, get in the car, I say what I got to say, and I get in the car and I'm done. But the other day, what day was that? Was it Friday? So Friday, I hired my friend Regina's son to come and clean the back patio. I'm going to take y'all out there later. I'm going to do a separate video. And he did a fabulous job. So I'm going to have, you see the before, and I'm going to do a video where I showed her, because I showed her, this is the madness your son about to come and clean up. And the weeds was everywhere, and it was madness back there. Anyway, he got back out there. Baby, I thought it'd be an hour. That baby was like a couple hours. And so I said, look, I got to run to the bank, get your money, and do some runs. So while you doing this, I'm running. So that was Friday. I took Friday off, and it was supposed to be somewhat of a relaxing day. I was running all day long. All day long I was running. But he did do a very, very good job and cleaned it up. So my garden, I may get it in late, and I might have to go to the big box store and get some pre-grown plants. But I want to order a bed, and then I need to put down right here next to this wall. Whoever was here before me, she did these weird flowers. And I think they're called Mexican something. They're almost like morning glories. I think they might be part of the family. And every morning when they're growing, they produce gorgeous, beautiful purple flowers. But they're almost as tall as I am when they grew up. These things of purple flowers, but it takes over the dirt back there. It's just like, and they're thick. They're almost like a bush, but they're not a bush. They're like independent plants, but they're thick like a bush, you know, as far as the stem and stuff of them. And like I said, every morning they produce the flower, and by the middle of the day, the flower dies off, and then it produces a flower again the next day. It's what it does. Gorgeous plant. But that's not what I want there. And like I said, they're very evasive. So he cleaned all that. He cleaned out. I had some bins back there. I've got a couple bins I still got to go through because they kind of broke apart, and I need to get some tarps because I don't really have. There are 4 storage units here, but those storage units I think went to some of the other people that have been here a long time, and so I don't really bother with storing anything in those. And I don't really have a lot that I want to store out there. It's just with some stuff from the truck. And some of that might end up going to trash or Goodwill. I've got to go through it again and see what I'm keeping because the tops broke, got wet. I don't know what's good, what's bad. I have bungees. The bungees I'll probably keep. And then I got some stuff in here that I'm gradually getting together for Goodwill, and everything is starting to go. I want to get this down very minimal, very, very minimal. But he did a really good job. So he did that yesterday, but while I was out and about, there was stuff that I saw. I went to, there's a Mexican bakery over here by me, and I stopped in. They got these little $5 burritos. So I said, well, I got one for him and one for me. And then I was also going to get some of their desserts. I'm not a huge sugar person, but they do have some really good little Mexican desserts. So I was going to pick some of those up. Wait for it. So when I walk in, there's a young, a man and a young girl who looks like she's disabled. She has something on her leg. And it's predominantly Latino run, but there's everybody of all different cultures come in there. Black, Mexican, white, everybody and their mama come up in there. So I'm standing there with my cane, because I have a cane, so I walk with a cane now. There's knee on the left is bad. So I got my cane, I'm waiting, to do my order. And their tortillas are phenomenal because they make them fresh right there. This chick, I'm going to say she might either be younger or right around I don't know, I think she's older than me. She bumps into me, like walks in and bumps me, looks me in my face like this. And I'm like, okay. Then she goes and stands behind the man who is in front of me. So then she acts like she gonna order ahead of me. I said, oh, no, we're not doing this today. Ladies, I'm next. This woman is gonna wait. We already turned it out up in here, okay? She's gonna wait. I don't know what this is. You done bumped me, and now you're gonna jump in just like I got the right to. This might be your culture, but no, ma'am. My money, my green, my card is just as good as yours. So you gonna stand back here and we're gonna act like we got sense. That's what we're gonna do. And if you don't know manners, you're about to learn them today. And so the lady behind the register said, she next. You're right. I was right. And this one had to move back. What the heck is wrong with you? I don't know what this is. It's so bizarre. It's the most strange behavior. And me and Linda were talking about it because she said, girl, she gets it like in Walmart. One of the reasons I don't even go in, I don't know, I have not been, I've tried to stay out of Walmart. I've done the drive up, the $35. I did it yesterday. I did it today. I say yesterday? I did it today. I get my little $35 to $40, whatever I need, delivered to the car. Bzz, I'm out. Now, I went to Sam's Club. So if y'all don't know, Sam's Club is owned by Walmart. That same company. Linda did not know that. I love Linda. She's so funny. So I had to give her the education. Sam Walton started Walmart. Walmart. And Sam's Club, if y'all don't know, is Walmart. They own the same company, okay? So I went to Sam's Club. I hadn't been to Sam's Club in years, but they had a really good membership special through Groupon. So I got that, and then I'm going to re-sign back up for Costco. I was with another associate of mine, but she became nerve-wracking. So I was like, you know what? I'm not there anymore. I can't do this with you. And the older she's getting, the more nerve-wracking, and the older she and I are getting, the more nerve-wracking she has become. So I'm like, I can't do this. I think on some, this is the one who did the $8,000 vacation. We were splitting the Costco membership. That ceased. So I'm gonna split it with Linda. So I gotta pick it up, and then me and Linda are gonna split it. I picked up the Sam's Club membership. Me and Linda are splitting that one. So I already got it, and I told her this year no charge, but next year when it's due, I'll let her know, and we can split it. Um, Man, so I went to Sam's. That was fine. I didn't have a lot of problems. It's a little bit different. I can tell the client base is slightly different than Costco. And even Costco, normally if I did my Costco orders, I was doing them through Instacart. Yeah, I got gas there. It was $3.99 a gallon, and most gas right now is for something 4.29 for. It's between 4.29 and higher a gallon for most of our gas right now. At different gas places. I usually like Chevron. Chevron gas is just great in the car. That Techron is phenomenal. Chevron and Texaco gas. It comes with its all automatic fuel additive, which is really good for vehicles, but their gas is high. It's expensive. I use Gas Buddy to try to find the cheaper gas, but I'm also cautious because cheap gas ain't always the best gas because it can mess your car up if it ain't in good shape, depending on what they're using to water it down. But the Sam's Club and the Costco gas is cheaper because, like I said, it was three something, 3.89, something like that. It was cheap, and I went ahead and topped off my gas. I was like down only a quarter of a tank, but I was like, I'm here, let me top it off. And we're running AC now. So, talking about y'all temperature. Our temperature today was, man, we might have been 80s. The only good part was the wind was blowing today. I know the other day I got in the car, it was like 98. I was like, oh my God. It was already hot. When I walked up, it was baking. I mean, actually, that was Friday when the baby was doing the patio. It was baking. So I had put some waters out there for him, and then I left and got him a burrito, me a burrito, and then I went to Salad and Go and got him a frozen strawberry lemonade. Brought that by here, did some more runs, paid bills, all that stuff. And then he says, I'm done. And then I was 10 minutes away. I said, I'm going to be right back. So I got here. He did a fabulous job because, like I said, y'all was seeing my back patio. I had weeds. I had some old bins back there from when Grumpy died. I had brought some of my bins back from his house and whatever was in there. Some of the stuff I just set in the back patio that had broken apart that I hadn't gotten to. Yeah. So, yeah. It was bad. He went out there and he did a fabulous job because and I still got more I want to do. But the owner, that's what I was gonna say. The owner came and he knocked at the door while I was working. Well, I can't walk away from my computer. I'm like, dude. He's like, it's the owner. I had never met the owner. And so I said, you got to meet me in the back. I'm working. And so I ran back there real quick and I said, sir, I got somebody on hold. What's going on? And he's like, well, I just want to get to your back patio. I said, as I told Pam, I work from home 3 weeks a month. You guys need to get back here. That gate is open. Just do what you got to do. Don't knock at the door. I said, please don't take this road. He said, no, no, go ahead, finish up. I can't be interrupted like that. Okay. Um, because you don't know my breaks, my lunch. I'm not going to do that. You're not going to put things at risk. And basically, usually an apartment complex, if they need something, they should give you a 48-hour notice. Granted, this is more private, but like I said, I don't have a problem with it. The problem with my apartment, well, problem factor. My apartment houses all the plumbing for the entire complex, or for the entire building I'm in. So every apartment, if there's an issue, the plumbing holes that are outside, sewer, water, whatever, is somehow tied to this. I have these black pipes sticking out the ground in the back of mine. So they have to come into my patio. Do not knock. Just go back there. I leave the gate open. It's unlocked. It's not open, but it's unlocked. So you just swing the gate open, come back here and do what you got to do. I don't care about that. You don't have to even announce it. Just don't knock at the door and disturb me. Um, so it was my first time meeting him. And when he went back there, he's like, I said, forget the weeds. I got to get somebody back here to clean them out. I haven't even started my garden for the summer. And so he got back there. He knocked some of the weeds out by the gate. But then Pam says he's going to paint the gate because he was doing some repairs to the gate. Our gates are wood. And so he put some new brackets on it. Some screw didn't do anything really major. Some of the slats, I think he replaced a couple of slats, one on mine, one on my neighbor's. And then when I got that cleaned up, I sent her a message and said, it's cleaned up. So if he needs to get back there and do anything else, he can to that gate. And she says, oh, they just gonna come paint. And I was like, okay. She's like, well, I'll find out what the date. I said, I don't really care when the date is. Y'all can go back there any other time. Don't knock at the door. Just go do what you gotta do. And she said, Shannon, we're gonna get it painted today. So the next thing I know, they painted the gates. That's all they did. Oh, I didn't care. But I got it done because I needed to get it done. I told her, I said I needed to get it done because I hadn't even started my garden yet. Okay. But I'll take y'all back there because it looks so much better. I gotta move my grill back a little bit because they moved my grill. I think the painters moved it. I don't think the kid moved it. I think the painters did. So I got to do that. Other than that, and then Saturday I did what I do. Saturday was going to the and then doing the groceries. And then by the time I got back to this house, it was like 6. I was like, my God, I've been going all day. And it's like time is flying on the level. It's like you go do something and the day is gone. I'm like, what the heck just happened? I got up this morning. I woke up at 5. Lord woke me up about 5 o'clock this morning. I was hemming and hawing about doing laundry. I got dressed. I went ahead and said, okay, I'm going to go to laundry. I left out my house at about 9-ish. I decided I was going to stop at Dutch Brothers because I needed caffeine. By the time I got from Dutch Brothers to the laundromat, put everything in the laundromat, ran that, it was 11. By the time I left the laundry, it was 12:13. And I had to stop. No, it was 12:13. And I stopped at the Walmart to pick up my order. Headed back here to the house to drop off the laundry. And by the time I did, well, hold on, I lied not. I went and got some Chinese food. By the time I got through getting my little chop suey, and that's what I was going to say, I went to 2 Chinese restaurants. So I had got, oh, that's the other thing. Y'all, I don't know why this showed up in my Walmart feed. I told you I'm a seasoning sauce person. I don't know who's tried this, but it's called Tabanero Peach Bourbon Hot Sauce. And so I don't know why it showed up in my Walmart feed. And then there was another one, but I got Sriracha Honey. This is a sample bottle. And then they got another one called Black Cherry. I do like the Black Cherry. It's pretty good. Then I was going to try, y'all. I thought this was a bottle by the advertisement on the page. I thought it was like a little bottle like those. So here's a bourbon barbecue peach. Okay, it says wings. So I had a craving for, and I got some more stuff. And this I got from Sam's Club when I was there. So I do like crunch. It's Ancho Chili Crunch by Kinder. I like a lot of Kinder stuff. Their salt content's a little bit heavy. I wish they would do a salt-free, but I do like Kinders. I wish they would do some salt-free stuff, though. And then this right here, the bourbon peach. I haven't cooked with it yet, but I'm a sampler. So the first thing I did was, put a little on hand and taste it, and it's actually very good. It's got a smoky flavor. I'm trying to think if I taste any peach in it. It says peach juice, but it's like it's low on the list of ingredients. This reminds me more, they have a smoky brown sugar rub. This reminds me more closer to that. But the ingredients on this is brown sugar, salt, garlic, spices, whatever they do. The stuff they use to have it where it doesn't cake. Cane sugar, paprika, citric acid, sunflower oil, natural flavor, molasses, peach juice powder, and bourbon. Like I said, it reminds me, and you can taste the smokiness. I can taste that. So that'll be something that I do on the grill. It'll just add to it. But they had those two, the crunch at Walmart, at Sam's Club. So I decided to pick those up. So I decided to get some wings because I wanted to try the sauces. And there's an Asian place over by Linda. And it's called Light. I was working for the bus company. They said, hey, there's this Chinese place. It's on 7th Avenue, just south of Buckeye. And I was like, oh, okay. And they talking about, you get these, they got the wings and they shrimp fried rice is bomb, boom, 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 boom. Now, what black person that grew up in the hood don't like Chinese food, and we tend to like shrimp fried rice. We tend to like wings. Now I am, again, wings are, I can, and let me say this, I prefer my wings grilled if I'm gonna do wings. I don't have to have fried. Linda is what I call a very traditional black eater. Fried, 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 fried. Anything fried, anything noodles. So fried noodles, okay, that's her thing. She likes that, and that's a kind of a part of our black staple diet. I'm not traditional in anything. If you ask me my top favorite food, it's gonna be Asian. And sushi would probably be top of the list. Everything else in the Asian realm falls underneath that. And then I'm trying to think what would be next. I'd probably say Indian or Middle Eastern would be next. Oh, we'd probably fall into Italian after that. Well, no. We'd probably fall into African and then Italian. And then we can come to American and Southern. So, which would be soul food. Yeah, I'm good. So, even though I'm big, I'm not the major fried food person all the time. I'm not the fried chicken person all the time. I'm not. No, no, no. Um, I stopped over at the place, and Linda couldn't. Black folks, they killed me. When I was working at the bus company, I said, "Girl, they told me about some place over there." Oh, girl, you talking about West Side Window? The hell is a Chinese place called West Side Window? Girl, West Side Window, y'all, ninjas. That is not the name of the restaurant. That's the name the ninjas in the neighborhood gave it, is West Side Window, because the window is, well, it's not typically even on the west side of the building. It's on the north side of the building, but they call it West Side Window, I guess, because the Chinese places on the west side is what they consider it. And I don't consider it west side. But anyway, consider it Central Phoenix. So, and it is literally a window in a building, but the food is bomb. And the name of the place is called Liun, Liyuen. You guys, they're on Instagram. I didn't even know they was on that, but the place is bomb, and it's a hole in the wall. There is no place to sit. You walk up to the window, you order your food. They give you a little card, tell you 20, 30 minutes, and then you go get it. Well, one of the things they have is what they call fried jalapeno wings. And they got fresh slices of jalapeno fried with the wings. But they learn to make the wings from black folks because the flavor is on hit. It's on hit. Point blank. Period. The only way they had to have learned how to make that from some black folks, and just, man. And I've only been to two Asian places that have done it like that. So when she had told me, when they mentioned, I was like, oh my God, I haven't had those in a while. When I was working at Etna, we used to order from an Asian place in the hood, not this one, that did jalapeno wings. That was the first time I was introduced to them. And they were so good. So I was like, oh, I gotta go. So I wanted to get some fried wings. I didn't feel like frying wings because, again, I don't fry a lot of food. Not saying I can't. I know how to fry food, but I'm not a fryer. So I don't really have a lot of oils to fry. Most of my oils are for sauteing. I got olive oil, coconut oil. I used to have grapeseed oil. Olive oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil. I'm trying to think who else I have. I thought I had somebody else oil, but I don't. I haven't. I think I'm out of it. So mainly coconut oil and olive oil are what I have right now on hand. The grapeseed oil I did have. I need to get some more. I haven't tried avocado oil. Well, no, I did, but I think the avocado oil I had was rancid, so I never did try it again. I'm gonna try to get some avocado oil and try it again because I've heard people cook with it, and I heard they like cooking with it. I'm gonna give it one more try. Um, but yeah, I don't. No, no. Anyway, y'all, I ain't gonna be on here much longer, but let me go ahead and go because we're at 60 minutes. Let me kind of throw my topic on the table that I wanted to talk about. Y'all know I have to leave y'all. My mind likes to think. This is the way my mind thinks. Some people come in like it, some won't. I've been watching and observe people even people around me, even myself, but more so in watching people, especially watching a lot of the 30 and unders, because it's all about them. I'm watching these, I was mentioning this, the other two young ladies they were friends, now there's a beef, and both of them are now claiming, oh, I'm Christian, and yada, yada, yada. One, I would say she's definitely on the path. The other one is questionable. Not saying she's not on the path, but she got some work. And don't get me wrong, because my life has been a journey to get to where I'm at. This wasn't always the case. There was times when you saw me where I was on point, and there was times when I was totally backslidden and just living life how I wanted to. But this young girl, and they both in their 30s, early 30s, she turned around and she just did a video, and it was all about her. Everything was about her. Even the relationship she claims to have with God, it's about her. It ain't about him. It's about her. And it's about what God can do for her. I want to preface this for folks. Even if you're not Christian, life is not all about you. Okay? And if it is, there's a problem. That falls under a term called narcissism. And narcissistic people are horrid. And if you go do some research on them, they're really not people you want to be around. They will do all sorts of things to make attention be about them. From lying to conniving to manipulation to a lot of hellish gameplay. Monty was a narcissist. Trump is a narcissist. We have to watch when we make life all about us. And I'm not, and I no way want to pat my belly. I'm no way wanting to diminish the fact that you should have value, but you should not be valued above God. Okay? And you should not be valued above where you think you're better than everybody else. That's a whole that's a whole nother ball game. Value and understanding, and I want to use this term not how it's being used today. You understand your self-worth of not being abused, not being manipulated, not being dogged out. You want to understand your value like that. Like somebody told me about the young girl who got beat to death in Mexico or whatever, and the friend had whooped her, and then next thing you know, she dead. That told me that young lady didn't have self-value, self-worth. It doesn't. People are taking it to an extreme beyond. I'm gonna practice self-care today. And I'm not trying to say you shouldn't take care of yourself. What I'm saying is there is an unhealthy balance in our society, and especially among, I'm going to say the 40 and unders, but even some of us, that you try to make everything about you. But when life happens and everything isn't about you, or even if you're in a predicament because you have an expectation that life should be a certain way, when you get knocked off that horse, it's a hell of a fall if you made life all about you. Whereas if you realize that life is just not all about you, when things happen, you'll understand that and be able to deal with it better. This young lady, and I watched it and I still just like, but I know other people that are like this. She started talking about her vision and vision board. Y'all be careful with that kind of stuff. And all this other stuff that has become a focal point of let me make it about me, what I want. Well, and God gave me, okay, if you say so, you can have giftings, but that might not necessarily be the thing that God wants to use in your life. Is that what God wants to use in your life, or is that what you want to do? You need to differentiate. And everything, even the deaths of friends, was about her. I had a cousin. She died. Her daughter on social media. She talks about her mama's death, but it was really all about her. Photos of her, photo of her kid, everything was about her. It wasn't, you didn't die, your mama died. Why is this all about you? And I'm not saying we're not supposed to have condolences for people and you're not supposed to care, but there are people who are so self-centered. They want you, oh, are you okay? They want the attention drawn on them. Y'all got to find a healthy balance. That's not normal. I need you to research narcissism, and you do not want to go down that vein. It is a pretty bad vein. But right now, we have a society, in my opinion, especially among some of my 40 and unders, where a lot of y'all are heavy narcissists. You're right in that narcissistic vein, and it's a disgusting. It's all about you. I watched another YouTuber. He's a Christian guy, and he was analyzing. Well, the church was questionable. I'll just leave it at that. And the guy was this minister dude, supposedly, who had some other issues. We'll leave it there. This dude got up in his pulpit of this weird church he was at, and he said, quote unquote, "What if God worships me?" I raised my hand. Did you just say God worships you? When did you become deity? And when did the God of the universe have to bow down and worship you? But at the same time, he was saying that man spoke volumes in that statement, because that is exactly how a lot of people are nowadays. Even in quote unquote Christian arena, they want God to worship them and give them whatever they want because they're their own little gods. And they want God to bow down and kowtow to them and give them what they want. The wealth, the car, the house, the money, whatever they want. I want God to serve me. The man came with a word, even though he was implying it in the same way that a lot of people are using it. And I watched this young lady who got on there and talked about everything about her and tried to justify her supposed Christian relationship with the Lord. And I'm sitting there going, ooh, wee. It's one of them ones like this. Am I seeing what I'm really? Am I seeing this? The hell's wrong with you? I see people, it's all about them. It's just like that micromanaging chick that I was under. I don't know that you really cared about any of your people. That's why when I manage, I like to develop people. I like to mold them. Because then it's not about me. It will be about you, because as they do better, as they do well, you'll automatically get shine. Like I said, one of the biggest one of the companies I worked for that just really I saw that was a man had identified he had a very talented person under his management. And the guy was entry level. And the guy reported, but he just realized something about this person. So he groomed him. Later, that same gentleman he groomed became his boss. You have to be comfortable in your skin, and you have to understand it's not just about me. If I make my life so that it can be a blessing to someone else, you're going to get shine, because it's the sowing and reaping. It's the nature of how things work. If you sow something good into somebody, you're going to reap something from it. You should, in most cases. There are other folks in this world, it's so much about them. They'll cut your throat just to make sure you don't supersede them. They do all sorts of crazy. It's like that one company I came from, and they talk about the train question, where if you got one person on the train tracks, five on the other, so should you kill the one on the, that is a very aggressive, it's about me mindset. We got to change it. We got to change it. Anyway, y'all, it is 69 after. I've been on here an hour. Let me see who I got on here. Culinary, long time no hear. It was good to hear from you. Flatbed, hit me up in the background. I'll get you Heidi Hart's information. I still have her phone number. In fact, I just gave it to Nikki a while back. Let's see here. PJ, hope you're doing well. I'm pissed off at you about that Missouri weather. I'm just saying. All right. And anybody watching this later on the replay, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. And then what y'all call this thing? I'm going to have to go, as soon as I get off here, and go look for. Let me go back. What the heck was that called? What was it called? Derma roller. Okay. I'm going to go look for this derma roller. I'll go look at it from Amazon. Although we got a hair store out here. It's the hood store. But they have all, the products. So I might do that in a couple of weeks and go get it. Y'all. Again, good night. But I'm going to say, if a bunch of people disappear, it wasn't aliens. It was the rapture. And if you don't know the Lord, please get to know him. Blessings on all of y'all. It's simply a conversations. Y'all have a blessed night. Flatbed, hit me up in the background if you want to know Heidi's information. If you need it, you might have already found something. Let me know. But yeah, and I don't know. I think they did have Flatbed. I don't think it's a huge division, though, for the company I'm thinking of. But Heidi may have some more other things. Sinister used Heidi, too. If you ever watch, I think his name was Sinister. Yeah, back in the day. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2 be blessed. Peace.